What up, Survivor Nation? Here we are, episode 8. And the name of this is the Sea Slug Slugger. Which we find out who that is throughout, obviously, once we reach the immunity challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to start off at day 23 on this.
Yeah.
Already.
And, kind of an important thing to know is, Dominic showed off his fake idol. He used his legacy advantage, but he still has an idol.
Yes, he does.
And at least one other person knows that at the beginning of the show, which is Wendell. And Donathan, Laurel, and Wendell, and Dom, they're all together, kind of, and we have Laurel and Wendell kind of having a talk. And obviously, Laurel's playing her game, but
yeah, kind of.
She's playing her game to the respect that she's guarding herself from kind of the conspiracies that can be happening as far as what Wendell's talking about, and him obviously telling Laurel, hey, Dominic has an idol, and guess what? I have an idol too.
Yeah.
So she's being a little careful.
Naive,
Right.
though. A
You
little
think?
naive, yeah. Trying to stay out of the garbage. But the garbage is the game. It's the game.
Yeah.
She felt betrayed when Wendell told her, right? She felt betrayed.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's why I think she was keeping a little pure heart going into the whole thing. And then she felt betrayed. But that's the game. You can't be surprised by that. Somebody doesn't tell you they have the idol. Well, grow up. This is Survivor here. And we're in late game. We got a jury already. Get ready. I mean, buckle up.
True.
She's got to know, she shouldn't be thinking, Wendell, oh, he betrayed me by not telling me. Well, he didn't tell you because it's the game.
It's the game.
She went in with a pure heart, I think. I think she was a little naive there. When she told me, or she told us, she felt betrayed. I felt like she was naive.
I wonder if she felt cross about that, and kind of decided that's when she was going to shake things up.
Right.
That's when she was going to start to get into the game a little more.
But-
when she
But
finds
did
out,
you really think she was going to?
Wendell, well, she's thinking to herself, Wendell, who I thought was on my side from the beginning of the game, is now divulging information that I feel he should have told me earlier, which is not, it wouldn't have been smart for Wendell. It wasn't smart for Wendell to tell Laurel in the first place.
Tell her
But-
jack shit.
Right. I mean,
Right.
that's kind of the whole, that's where it goes, is she knows now. Wendell let it out. He's got the idol also.
Mm-hmm.
Wendell fucked up.
He did.
Wendell
and,
fucked
and
up by saying anything in the first place. You never say anything in Survivor.
He wanted to gain
We've said
allegiance.
that 100 times.
He wanted to gain. I say that, but he wanted to. I know the reason why.
Right. Gain allegiance. We've seen that, though.
And it's funny that he goes to gain allegiance, and what happens?
Well, yeah.
He
He lost it. He
ends
lost
up,
a little bit of
Well, he ends up
cred.
telling Laurel about this, and then Laurel feels cross for him not saying this earlier. So now
Right.
he's already put another. He's kind of put a target on his back. From
Not
Laurel's
only am I hanging
perspective.
out with somebody with power, but guess what? I've
Right.
got power too.
Yeah, and that's kind of I mean that's obviously where she ends
I think the
up.
big thing is though she's more bothered. I feel like she's less bothered by the fact that he didn't tell her. She's more bothered by two dudes with two idols with a strong allegiance. Right? I think that's what she described to us in her little interview. Her little interview where she was like, they have a lot of power, and I think she wants to even out the game a little bit,
And
which we saw later on in the episode.
Absolutely, right. She mentioned that. True. After Laurel decides to kind of shake things up, she runs around camp, kind of, first she tells, she was talking about, Michael, as far, and obviously a lot of people are kind of out for Michael in this episode. But we go into the reward challenge, and the reward challenge, it's pretty simple. You run down and you shoot a little beanbag at a target.
Yeah, that was a cool one.
And it was pretty good. Obviously,
And the teams looked so uneven. You had all guys on one side and Wendell and a bunch of girls
The
on the
playground.
it was a very unevenly matched. Yeah, right. I mean, you had a lot of strong guys, and then you had the weaker team, some girls here, and some of the girls that just, I mean, you could tell they weren't able to get it up to the target.
They were weak, right?
But
But
luckily,
hold on.
I mean,
Before we
Laurel,
can say that.
Laurel,
Well, not Laurel. but
she definitely stepped up and she made her presence known.
they had their strategy where you have to send everybody at least once, and then the stronger players can go more than once.
Sure.
Now that was Wendell's team's strategy. The other team, they kind of picked up on that later, and I didn't think they really needed to, because you go out there and you give one shot. How difficult is it to grab a second
Just
one?
pick up another one
Let me
real
try
quick.
at least 3 or 4 times. I mean, we have a stack of about 200 freaking beanbags.
And I think
there.
we mentioned that a bunch of times. The fact that, listen, true, you got them all sitting there. Get the feel for it.
Yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
take 2 more seconds to
Right.
pop another bag in that
Right.
slingshot and shoot it at the target.
Bad decision by the second team, I think, by following.
The orange
Wendell's,
team, the
right.
orange team.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
Dominic's team made the bad decision by going, hey, look what they're doing.
that's pretty true. Yeah, so on the purple team, we had Wendell, Angela, Laurel, Chelsea, Donathan, and Libby.
The chick squad. Yeah.
And right, so Libby, Chelsea, they obviously didn't do much. Donathan couldn't really get his weight.
he was
into
having
it.
a hard time with that.
You know,
one.
he was having a rough time. Angela, she really didn't show anything
and
promising.
hold on, when you're against that, when you don't have the weight, you got to hold it further down and give it more of an arch. Am I
True.
wrong
No,
on that?
No,
True,
that's why
true.
you're a doctor.
Absolutely, yeah.
know.
Absolutely.
I did call the Women's Alliance about 2 weeks
Well, we
ago.
haven't gotten to that yet. You just
Right,
want
yeah,
to
we're
throw that out
we're
there.
coming right into that,
Gosh,
yeah. But
dreading
then we
this.
got the orange team though with Dom, Mike, Sebastian, Desiree, Kellen, and Jenna, and where you would have thought you would have seen. I'm not sure exactly why it seemed like they couldn't get their aim on. Because they seem to be able to kind of get to the target, with the exception
Well, because they
of some of the girls.
they
Jenna,
only gave one
Jenna
shot.
wasn't getting there, right, and that was obviously
Give
a huge.
me a second chance.
No, true, yeah.
And I'm surprised that Dominic's team took that stance. I just thought, hey, if they just want to run people out, give them one shot and let them run back. Stay
Right.
out there and give a couple more shots. Come on, you can do it. Give them a little encouragement, for God's sake.
Right.
I just thought that was.
I mean,
No,
like,
I totally
And
agree.
you know,
I totally agree.
The point where it happened was when Sebastian, who is a guy who got the bag out far enough, but he kept overshooting the target.
Yeah.
Well, in his case, he needed to aim down a little bit, or maybe not pull it so far back. Coach him from the other
Right.
side, for God's
Right.
sake. Tell
Yeah.
him what to do.
He was worse than Harvey Weinstein out there.
No, I definitely felt that was where it was. Is the orange team just couldn't seem to line up the target, where
Mhm.
the purple team wasn't having too much of a problem, with the exception of the fact that it really relied just on Wendell and Laurel to make the
Right.
shots, and they did a phenomenal job. They ended up winning. They went to the Taco Hut
Mm-hmm.
and also got to send Jenna to Ghost Island, which didn't really matter. Jenna didn't have any game on Ghost Island, which was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
I think the
That disappointed
Ghost
me.
Island is
Mm-mm.
good
Yeah.
to add to the game,
Right.
as long as there's something more to it than that. You know,
Right.
it would be nice to know that, hey, you would be able to find, like, somewhere there's maybe another idol hidden. And I realize we have a lot of idols in play, but the fact of the matter is, why not add that to
There's
it?
gotta
You know,
be
I mean, there's
an
got to be
idol.
something. There's
Let
gotta be
alone,
something extra.
like, I wanted a flashback, and I was so happy to hear somebody going back to Ghost Island, because I wanted to see like a previous season, a little
Right.
flashback, which I've been like digging
Sure.
the whole season, like
Right, that's
these
neat.
flashbacks about JT and about the other contestants. What's his name, Ozzy, with the stick that comes up at the
Yeah.
end of it, you know. But
Yeah.
like, it's so cool to see that stuff. And when she came up with nothing, I felt so disappointed. Like, what we don't get nothing here. And then
Yeah,
she's
I agree.
complaining about the food and stuff. Well, she got a whole pan of rice. I think you said something, Lance,
Right.
about, like, she got a whole pan of rice to herself, and she doesn't have to listen to what's his name, a Wendell snoring next to her. You know what I mean? I mean, she gets a whole bed to herself. It's perfect.
It's definitely tough going to Ghost Island, not having any game. Sure, you got the rice sitting there. You can fill your belly while you're there, but you're missing out on so much.
Well,
while you're there, you're
that's
not
true.
in the game. there's so much dynamics. I mean, just being able to watch
Sure.
a couple of
Sure.
people walk off, you're like, oh, those couple
Somebody
of
to
people that
talk
just
to.
walked off there, you know,
But we've
obviously
seen
you're
Ghost
missing
Island
a lot
how
of strategy.
cool it is.
They
Wouldn't
need
you
right.
search around a little bit, and or maybe shit? There's so many cool things laying around there. Pick a freaking artifact back with
Yeah,
you.
she might. I don't
Well,
know.
you can
what-
do those
you
kind
know.
of things.
Can
right?
you?
Yeah,
I
you can
mean-
do those kind of things. I mean, that's fine.
Hey, maybe play it as an idol.
Obviously, there's no game to be had there, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe
would
it
be-
is an
might-
idol.
It might be obvious.
Yeah, that would be cool if you took something
Maybe
back that
something.
looked
Maybe
fancy.
everything sitting there is an idol. And
I mean,
you
what's
just
his name?
don't know.
Yeah, a stick. You know, you take a stick back and say it was
Well,
an idol. Nobody believe you.
They've
at this
got
point, but-
they have relics all
Mhm.
laying around
Yeah,
there? I mean,
yeah.
we've
No, that's
seen
true.
where-
At this point in time, when a stick does end up being the idol, I mean, yeah, it's a good point to kind of add to that.
I
um,
don't know. We'll see.
There
Yeah.
just should have been a little more, I think, involved in Ghost Island.
Well,
With the exception
well,
of
we
the
haven't
fact
seen
that
the end
we
of it.
do.
we do
no, I
see
mean, we
more
do-
urns. So
True.
people
yeah.
are going to still be
Yeah,
going.
there's at least
Absolutely,
five more
no.
there, and
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah,
and there's
so
at least five
so maybe
more.
maybe the last urn says something like, "Hey, anything on the freaking island, you take it." And it's,
who knows?
But you have to go in order. You know,
Yeah,
I
that
guess
kinda
I guess
sucks.
she was told you have to go in order.
You're right.
You can't just skip this one and go to the next one.
Right,
So we're
right.
we're learning the rules out there. This is easier than Redemption Island. You know, Redemption
Sure.
seemed a lot rougher than this one.
Yeah.
Remember the Sugar Shack?
The Sugar Shack.
Oh God.
I don't know. Sugar Shack.
Yeah, it was kind of like the Redemption Island. She was the broad that got sent to Redemption Island the whole freaking season,
Hmm.
and then she went
Don't
to the end.
remember that. Yeah, I don't remember that.
She went to the end, and she
Oh
did-
yeah, she spent the whole time in Redemption.
yeah. and she
But
never-
that I wanted to.
Oh,
her
that
name-
was
Yeah.
Sugar. Her name never got written down the
Yeah,
entire
right.
season.
Yeah,
and
right.
even at the end,
It was
her
like a
name
little,
didn't get
yeah. It
written
was like a
down.
little sand
Yes.
peninsula inside a little hut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
yeah, I
heard
do
nothing.
remember
She
that, yeah.
saw nothing.
Yeah.
She did nothing. But she
Yeah.
made it to the end.
The
That's
entire
what-
game.
You
yeah.
were saying, Charlie, that
Yeah.
like
And
you
that
do
was
miss
great.
out on the things happening at the tribe. But
But
you
it's
know, when you
also-
get put in that limbo, it's a purgatory of a neutrality, sort of like.
Well,
okay,
you're out of sight,
help
out of
you
mind.
anyway. Yes.
You're out of sight, out of mind, and it's
Right.
not a horrible place to be, but it sure helps to know what the strategy is during gameplay, and you're
Right.
not there for it, you know.
Right.
But when we talk about gameplay, when we enter into day 24, this is when Angela really decides to get the war going, and she's got Dominic and Wendell, who she's basically she's going after Michael. She's telling Dominic and Wendell, Kellen and
Angela.
well, yeah.
Angela, she said that she feels free from what's his name, the dude. What's that guy's name? Chris. She said that she felt free from his like
Well, yeah, she didn't want to get
grasp, and she had to stay loyal to
True,
him.
true.
And he would only do his way. And it surprised me.
Now she
to think
breaks out
that-
and does her game.
Yeah, but women seem
She
to
had
be
a
a
great
little
game.
bit more
She's got a great
sensitive. How many women have we seen that don't tell us that are following guys around
Yeah, true.
out there? Like, I'm not
True.
for the whole Me Too movement, but that really struck me that there could be more women out there following men, vice versa, at times, where a player feels like they have to follow a dominant player just because that person, that guy or girl, is more vocal
Angela is
or
a fierce
stronger.
competitor. Yeah, she's actually a pretty fierce competitor in this
She's
game.
going to be great. She's
she
going to
seemed
the
very
end.
She seemed very like breaking out of her shell. Like, where was this woman for the first 22 days?
right?
You know,
right.
who
I mean,
was
can
this
fight and
person?
claw.
I can kind of see where you're coming from there, but at the same time, she has been somewhat independently strong. She's just been with somebody that is also kind of complete alpha
Mhm.
in Chris, where
Right,
like you
right.
said, she's been falling, but he always led the show. I mean,
Right.
he was just so open about
Now that
being,
he's gone, now she can run her own show.
Now
right.
now she's got her own show going for
and
sure.
it's going.
Oh,
It's going.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is definitely going.
yeah,
And
she's
you-
right. She's getting
Well, you called it. I have to say it.
Well,
Well, you called it, Lance. I think what was it? Two shows ago.
what?
Give
Right
mad
here
props to the
in the studio.
doctor. I'm the professor. You're the doctor.
In the studio, I said it right here.
Yes, you did. There was
True.
there was some sort of women's alliance or
you did,
something.
yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think I did.
Yes.
Yes.
Damn it.
But
Well.
yeah, no, I mean, Angela's in the position now where she's she's ruffled some feathers, but
Mm.
nobody's found out.
Well, yeah,
Nobody's-
we were with
nobody's
Chris.
caught
She
on
was
to her.
talking to Chris, right? She was talking to Chris. That's where we were at, right? So she was talking to Chris.
No, she was talking to Michael.
Michael.
She
Oh
was
yeah,
talking
yeah,
to
yeah.
Michael.
Michael. She was
Michael.
talking
Yeah,
to Michael, and she said, she goes, "Who do you want to vote for?"
Yeah, who do you
right?
think? What do
Yeah.
you think about that power
Right,
couple
right.
over there?
And we were talking about how
Yeah, she goes-
stupid that
She
is.
goes, look at those two, that power couple right there.
Right,
Yeah,
how s-
Dominic and Wendell. They
right.
got a lot of power.
Yeah.
She goes, if you pick one, which one would you pick
You're
to go
right.
home?
Right,
And instead of saying, well, who would you pick?
right.
He goes,
Right.
"Oh, I think Wendell.
For future Survivor contestants out there, let's just put that out there. If somebody asks you who you're going to vote off, you never tell them first.
No.
You say, "Well, who do
bad
you want
idea.
to vote off?"
What do you
You're
think?
asking me.
True.
What you go first.
And yeah, we talked about that.
Right.
You gotta be real careful in your communication aspect as to how you ask questions. You gotta lead people into things.
Yeah, because
I
she
mean,
went. She
you
went
need
off.
to ask leading questions, and maybe that was kind of her. I mean, I'll give it to her if that was her strategy because it worked out in that
yeah,
way.
manipulator.
You know, I mean, obviously, she's definitely gunning for all the guys at this point, kind of in a way, but she's just trying to lead her own game, and she's
yeah.
not worried about getting Michael out at all because she throws him under the bus left and right. She's already tossed him aside and said, "This is the next guy that's going out." That's kind of all there is to it. Obviously, the show evolves, matures a little bit past that. Because later on, obviously, we go into the entering into day 25, we enter the immunity food challenge,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
and so
What'd I tell you about that?
We haven't
oh,
had
yeah,
one of those in a
it's-
while.
It's we
The first
I
season.
can't even fucking watch that shit.
Kinda-
I gag. How many times did I gag while we
Yeah,
watched
that was funny. That was funny.
it's rough. Yeah, well, I'm surprised they didn't have the balut there. That's usually one of the delicacies that
Yes.
are the common thing to find
Well, the last thing that they
But-
ate. Well, yeah. Well,
in
let's
a
see what
food
we ate.
challenge. Yeah,
The first thing was eyeballs,
Yeah, I bought that.
the slimy
yeah.
eyes.
which I don't know. Maybe
Jeff said they were all delicacies
You're right.
from the island
Right.
culture.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now the second thing we saw eaten,
was the
The grubs.
larva?
the
Yeah,
moving
yeah.
grubs. The
that-
grubs were out
I'm
there.
I'm not eating something moving.
Right,
the moving
right.
thing's a little
That
rough.
thing was alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it
And
was
then-
the big black.
And
dick
then it was the
thingies.
sea slug.
Yeah.
That thing was
No
insane.
fucking way on the.
Yeah, yeah.
Insane.
Angela, your chick, she
And
swallowed
obviously-
that first one
oh
whole.
God, the portions just got ridiculous
Mhm.
with the sea slug. That thing
The
was
last
enormous.
thing. The last thing though. It was crab meat, or I'm sorry,
Oyster.
oyster,
Oyster
or
Yeah.
clam
The
meat.
mother of
And,
pearl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd eat that all day long.
Well, what's his name?
But it
Michael.
was raw.
Michael
I mean,
took
that might
another
be-
bite. Michael finished his.
I'm gonna try some at in
And you know
Put-in-Bay
what's
this year.
it's funny too because
Yeah.
it must have not been right. The
Yeah.
I need
oyster,
raw fish or conch.
the oyster must
Is
have not
conch?
been that
No.
bad. She went ahead. She ate that up no problem.
Yeah.
She chomped it down, and Michael
Yeah.
was willing to finish it. So
Yeah.
it must have not been.
He
That
was
bad.
gagging
I
on
mean,
it, but
it's oyster.
it's all
you
a
know,
mental,
go for
Right,
it.
it was
my
probably
opinion.
kind of bland. They
Yeah.
it bit into it and was like, "That's bland."
yeah.
But those bugs, those
Oh,
slugs,
those sea
I think that
slugs.
should have been the last
That
part.
was probably-
monsters.
that was probably like biting into like a big thing of jelly.
Like a
You know what I
cockroach.
mean?
I have no idea what it was like, but I do
those
know
slugs, those slugs were
highly-
crunchy. You had to bite into it, and it was
highly
splattering all over.
I
It
was highly
disgusting.
impressed. Highly
Yeah.
impressed. Oh God, dude. I mean, you're right. Right.
You pick them eyeballs up, and it's all slimy. The first thing you do is go
Yeah.
wipe all that freaking goo off of it,
Yeah,
and I'll
no
eat
kidding.
that thing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you would at least put some salt on the thing. You know, some spice.
You need
Hot
something.
sauce.
Right.
like
Fuck,
a
I'll put
Tabasco.
sand on the thing.
I'd do anything at that point. I would have walked out though. But I would have just walked out. I said, "This
Wendell
is it."
couldn't even pick up that fish eye.
Yeah,
He touched it, and it was all gooey, and he dropped it immediately.
yeah, yeah. He was out.
Immediately, yeah,
I would
he
have done the
didn't even
same
try.
thing. I would have said,
Yeah.
"This is out. I'm playing my social
Yep.
game.
Yep.
I'm playing the social game on this." Because you
all
could have been like
depends.
that idiot Michael. He ate everything,
Well,
and he still didn't win.
like
He gave
I
it
said,
a shot.
that last
but-
thing he ate, and
Must have not been that bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it was an oyster. I mean, it must. Yeah, it probably didn't taste great,
like I said,
being
I
that it
bet
wasn't cooked, but not that big of a deal. Where,
you,
can
bet you
go
it was a
ahead and
little
munch
more
down on
chewy
it.
than you think, though.
but probably, yeah.
We'll
I
have to
can't
wait for the
disagree.
auction next season. You know, the auction. Maybe the
You
auction.
think the auction?
I would like to see the auction.
It'd be nice to see the auction.
I mean,
this
they
year,
did that
yeah.
with 8 contestants last time, so maybe
We might
Yeah.
see the auction this
the
year.
auction would be cool. Yeah, but it's going to be blowing up next. Well, we're still before tribal here.
Yeah, well, we go through.
Mm.
Angela wins.
Yeah.
She ends up
Dominating
getting
fashion.
the individual.
dominant.
Yeah, she gets the individual immunity. I mean, for God's sakes, the first sea slug, she just
Now-
swallowed that thing whole.
Let's.
It was
face
amazing. I
That
mean,
was like
it was impressive. I was impressed
That's
highly.
that's an army chick. That's a veteran army chick.
Yeah, what did she eat in
Highly
Afghanistan, for Christ's sake?
Oh,
you
she
know?
just
She's
yeah.
probably with 30 guys. What do you think she ate?
Well, she
Probably
ate enough of
freaking
that.
A ton of cock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised
That
Jonathan
girl
didn't
can
do
deep
better.
throat. Please, come on. When you're swallowing a slug like that,
Yeah.
let's face it.
Yeah.
Every man is thinking it.
Yeah,
Every
Jonathan.
man. Right. The first one she put
Honestly,
down, you're
yeah.
like, holy shit, that girl can freaking
You ain't
deep.
kidding.
deep-
You ain't kidding.
She
Yeah.
can deep throat long dong
Yeah.
silver.
Yeah, she swallowed the first one whole.
John
yeah.
Holmes.
Just slammed it home.
Yeah. I
Which,
think Jonathan
yeah, it was-
asked
it
Seabass
was-
if he wanted to try his.
King Kong ain't
yeah.
got nothing on me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she ends up winning. So now the war that she's already started. Now she's confident
Yes.
that she can continue on with her anarchy throughout the tribe. And
Throwing Michael under the bus.
she
A little villain move. I like it though. Little
Loved it.
villain. Yeah, me too. We
No,
needed
absolutely.
some of that. We needed someone to come out as a bad guy.
and it's good to
Yeah.
see a woman come out nice and strong.
Yes.
On top of
yes,
it. It's
that's
just-
right. A woman, evil woman,
She-
like
yeah.
the song.
Like
yeah.
they all are. We all know
Yes.
they're all evil.
Stay
Deep
away
down,
from them.
of course,
Yes. Don't tell them who
absolutely.
you're going to vote for.
Sure. But we got Michael now is after Wendell. Everyone's after Michael.
Because Angela told him.
Oh, no, right.
That's the power couple.
And
We
that's
got to get
that's
rid of
just
one
it,
of those
right, yeah.
guys.
We've seen Angela's moves fall into place here.
Mhm.
Michael's in an upset. Everybody's kind of after Michael.
He's a stray from
also they're after Michael and Libby. I mean, we kind of have to
well, they're
include the
strays
fact
from the
that Libby's-
Chris
yeah.
alliance. You know, they're just
Absolutely,
they're
right.
garbage. They're the garbage he left.
they're the leftovers.
yeah, yeah, the
Absolutely.
leftovers. Perfect. Yeah.
Exactly. And so the one thing that I don't think did anybody know that Michael had an idol? I don't think so.
But they might have come up earlier, but I did. That surprised me that he had found who was it, Ozzy's. So
Yeah.
he went to Ghost Island at some point to get that stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
Yep.
so he had we had to have seen it. I'm sure we remembered it, but we were probably just drunk or something that happened.
I don't think anybody.
I
I don't think anybody actually considered that.
But we
he
haven't
had an
seen
idol.
Michael on the
I don't think
screen
I-
forever.
Yeah.
Adam's been leading or Chris has been leading the charge. We
Yeah.
haven't seen Michael do anything.
Not a whole
Michael-
lot.
well,
no,
when Michael-
he's been the sportsman.
Michael
out there.
was with Brendan.
He's been good
when
in challenges. He's
he
been
was with
noticed in
Brendan
challenges
the whole time. And
Sure.
remember, he started up earlier. He said, "I
Yeah.
got an idol," and he played it for the wrong person. And his main man, Brendan, went home. Then he found another idol. Michael's a player. 18 years old. He's a player. I'm
I
telling
think
you.
he's going to fall off here, just like
I don't
what's her
think
name?
so.
A couple of the women are going to
Well, he's
start
got to
falling
keep
off
himself guarded at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to find himself.
Everybody's
trouble.
going to love his play, and I think that buys him at least a couple weeks.
Well,
Their
yeah.
targets are going to be on somebody else. They're going
here.
to
Right. He's going to be the swing vote. He might
at
be
this
the
point,
swing vote
right now,
because
yeah.
nobody likes him, and now we can sway the person nobody likes. Work with us.
Michael
Yeah.
is.
And yeah, that's true too. I mean, plus he's strong in challenges. People are going to kind of look at that towards, he could get immunity. We might want to get him out. Also, at the same
He was
time,
close
he
to
has
winning.
been strong in challenges.
He was close
And we
to
can't
winning
forget
that,
about that, yeah.
immunity on this episode.
Yeah.
he was. He
was
lost,
right there.
Lost to Angela. And
Right
it-
there.
Yeah, the way we saw Wendell
awesome.
perform, though, I thought maybe people get a little worried about him. He seems pretty secure
He does.
He
up
does
there
seem-
because
he does
nobody
seem
even
somewhat
shot for
secure.
him. Nobody even shot for him when we went to the votes.
Yeah, no, and I mean,
know.
sometimes the best place to be is in the shadows, even though he's been in the kind of the he's been a topic.
Wendell
His name
is
gets brought
Robin
up.
to Batman. Dominic is Batman here, and Wendell is playing second hand right here.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
he is the
and it's good to stay in the
Dominic's the
shadows
kingpin.
for sure. Yeah,
Dominic's
yeah.
the kingpin.
Oh yeah. Well, he's obviously the most vocal, but Wendell seems to be his henchman.
Mhm.
It seems, and I'm surprised people didn't
That's
shoot for
true,
him
yeah.
more. I I was hoping for a big gun going down tonight, and I thought it was going to be Wendell.
A big gun did go down. They're all big guns right now.
No. Libby was a cop out. I don't think she was a big player at all.
Is Kellen?
At all. Kellen, I don't know. She's got potential. You know who doesn't have potential is what's
Jenna?
her name? Is Desiree. Desiree is
Desiree and Jenna are kind of on
Desiree.
the outs.
Yeah, those
As
two
far as
are
gameplay is
slinking
concerned,
back.
they're
as
not.
far as
They're not.
gameplay.
They're not hard. They're not hardcore.
No.
in it.
How's Donathan playing? Is Donathan a player?
Donathan's in the game. I think I would agree that Donathan's in the game. He's got his head in the game. I think he's talking
He's
with the right
making
people.
moves. He tried to make moves tonight.
Him and
He voted for his own original Malone.
Well, he was trying. Well, he must have got wind that the whole thing was falling apart,
Right.
Well, him
and he said,
him
"I'm
and,
jumping
you know,
ship."
Him and Laurel are real tight,
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't vote the same way.
and that was a
Well,
surprising.
that leads
part,
us back
for sure.
to your girls'
But
alliance
that's
because you need to
exactly, yeah.
explain this girls' alliance thing.
I said it
Yeah,
a couple
because that's
weeks
exactly where we're going. Right?
Because
said it
the
a couple-
girls' alliance, what we figured, right? We got to explain this, right? We have to talk about it.
and we
right?
know, yeah, absolutely.
It's Desiree, Laurel, right, and then the old chick Angela,
Kellen, Laurel, Des, and Chelsea.
right,
That's it.
right.
That's
So,
it.
but three of them chicks are like non-existent right now, really.
They're all non-existent, but they're all voting together.
True.
They're all voting together.
True.
They have their own agenda. You had the guys going after each other, and the girls were doing their own thing.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. I know that. It's just I want to emphasize to everybody that these people are on a different.
Well,
we're not seeing anything from
they're
these,
not showing
this group.
that.
This group is
CBS
completely in
isn't
the
showing
shadows.
that.
True.
We
That's-
are not
that's-
getting
Yeah.
That's going to come from
anything from
left
these
field.
people.
But I think maybe next week's.
It's emerging.
Yeah, it's
coming
up.
out.
Dominic and Wendell, they're seeing those votes for
I
Libby.
hope they do.
And Libby voted with Dominic and Wendell.
And right, it's only going to take a matter of time before it's kind of obvious. But I mean, at this point in time,
'Cause I'll tell you what,
they've
those-
really kept it under the radar.
Those girls are going to
They've been
eventually.
smart
Those girls
about
don't. What
The only
surprises
time-
me most. Let me finish my thought.
Yeah.
If you there's not a queen bee in this. We usually see one emerge, and I can't name out of the four that we saw.
True.
They are one mind, and there is not a big kingpin on this one. There's usually when there's a girls' alliance, which you call perfectly, Lance. We see a queen bee, mean woman come out, and she runs the show. This is completely different. This is
I think
generic.
it's kind of like a Des Kendallin thing. Laurel's kind of like in it because she doesn't totally trust Wendell.
Yeah.
She's not voting with Wendell. If
Right.
she did, Laurel would have voted Michael.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
They never said anything about splitting votes. I mean, Dominic told Libby, "You're with us,"
And that's the
Libby's
thing.
the
yeah.
one that went home.
Right. Right. And
So
so
Dominic thinks he's got all the.
So who
girls
took a
with him.
hit tonight? Did
Well-
Dominic's group take a hit? Dominic and Wendell's a faction take a hit then? Because Libby
Yes.
was with them?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we have three factions, right? Let me get this straight because I'm trying to figure this
There's
out. We have
technically two. I
Wendell,
guess you could
Dominic,
push it, you
then
could
the
push
Mum-
it into three with the girls because
Well, Michael
we're not
is right.
cons-
Michael's
well,
walking
Jonathan-
not
his own path
considering
right
them
now.
right yet.
Yeah, but Donathan's running a squad, right? Donathan's trying to get a squad together.
He's trying, but he's just
He's
low
with
man
the
on the
girls?
toe. No,
Yeah.
he's following Dominic and Wendell.
Okay. So he's
Wendell,
with them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jonathan is with Wendell and Dominic.
and Laurel, which is why Laurel's not 100% in the girls' alliance.
She's not. She's kind of
That's-
flopping, but she's
Who?
staying on Laurel.
Oh,
Laurel's-
yeah. She's with Wendell still.
Who?
Well, I
What are
wanted
you,
to
a
hear
fucking
you.
owl?
I wanted to hear you because the lines have never been this blurred before. I have never seen an episode where the lines are this blurred. I really haven't. Everybody's sneaking around, and we're not seeing nothing. We're not seeing anything.
And I think that's where they,
See,
at
they keep-
Tribal, this is kind of the
You know what
point
they're
that
doing?
they made.
They're showing us
They
something,
know
but they're telling us nothing. Okay.
And like I said, I think at Tribal we kind of feel that everybody that's there kind of understands we really don't know what everyone else is thinking, except for maybe the girls. And I think that's I think that's just important to point out because there's a lot of people on the fence as to who even could have possibly went home tonight. The girls took over. They got Libby voted out. Everybody else is kind of thinking, I think, the same thing. When did Libby get thrown into the middle of this? Because obviously Michael was a target.
Wait a minute.
that was
a minute.
a huge.
though.
That was a huge.
We wouldn't
part of
even
it.
be talking about the girls right now if Michael had not played the idol, which no one knew about. Wait a minute. The girls get too much credit here. I think we're giving the girls
I
too much credit.
I still don't think anybody realizes that the girls have put themselves in this position. But that's what happened tonight. It wouldn't have happened without Michael's immunity being
right.
played. True.
I mean, they got lucky on choosing
They got
on who
lucky.
they wanted to
they
vote
got
out.
they got
Well,
lucky
absolutely
with their vote.
with Michael playing his
Yeah.
idol.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
So I think they're getting a little. Maybe we might be. Maybe we're not. But maybe we are giving them too much credit, saying, these girls are playing a tough game when really they just got lucky.
The only reason they earned credit in this episode is because Michael played his idol. But had he not played his
Right.
idol, they still, I think people would have looked and said,
who's
"Who's voting for Libby?"
Libby? Yeah,
We
okay.
decided, I mean, obviously,
We didn't know.
right? It didn't.
Which
there-
should
there was
lead us into
questions,
next
and
week's
we're right.
episode.
There's questions being drawn by
Yeah.
these people now too.
Yeah, so
So-
Dominic and Wendell got to know by now, right? That there's a rogue faction out
Something's
there.
going on,
Right.
Yes,
because they're
this is it. Tribal flushes out all, right?
Yeah.
So this is it.
Always does, yeah. Well,
And tribal, right? It comes across and it kind of cleans what mysteries lay and reveals the secrets
The
that,
votes don't
that
lie.
people have been hiding. Yeah.
Votes don't lie.
Absolutely,
Like Wendell
yeah.
said. Wendell had said in the episode. He
they
said,
were trying to get Libby last week. Those girls.
"Yeah,
True.
They wrote all.
True.
They all wrote her name last week.
And still, I don't believe anybody really noticed.
yeah." She didn't
No,
scramble
they did.
much, did she? She
No.
didn't really scramble
Not
as
at
much
all,
as
yeah.
Dominic. Dominic said, "You'll be fine."
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
be fine.
You'll be
Don't worry.
fine.
You'll be
Nobody's
fine.
coming
You
after
know.
you.
Yep.
Yeah,
Except
yeah.
those other
And
three
she's gone.
scanty women who
Yeah.
don't like you.
Yeah, that's it.
The women that he doesn't talk to, because Wendell seems to be talking to everybody. Dom
Yeah.
seems to be sitting on the bench somewhere, just
Well,
kind of
Dominic's the
picking his
kingpin.
teeth.
I told you, Dominic's the kingpin. He's got Wendell running around, and Wendell's coming back going, "We got Laurel, 1,000%,
1,000%.
1,000%.
Yeah,
Laurel,
1,000%.
Laurel and Donathan, we got them 1,000%.
Laurel could be the key to bringing both these dudes down. To be
Laurel's
honest,
gonna-
And absolutely,
she knows about
absolutely,
everybody.
she
She
I'll
knows
tell you what,
everybody.
She's
He's gonna cut.
she's gonna reveal it. Yeah.
Dominic's gonna tell Wendell, "I'm sorry, we got to cut her loose."
yeah, yeah.
And that might be the downfall between Wendell and Dominic. Well, there's
Right.
a lot of things
I
that
like
can go
that. I like
on. Oh,
that.
good.
Good.
Can I
good.
write a script or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful.
I like
And
that.
I'm not sure where that's going to leave Donathan,
Yeah.
but he could easily. I mean,
CBS
as,
should hire me.
as long as
I
long
wouldn't
as
go that
Laurel
far.
Laurel could honestly, she could drag
I know. I wouldn't
Donathan
pass the
along.
drug test.
It just-
Yeah, that's for
you'd
sure.
fail. You'd fail.
That's for sure.
I'm kidding. I'd pass.
Just a joke.
You're like a
Just
chemistry
joke.
project over there.
I'd
Chemistry
pass.
project, indeed. So, but
Christ.
we're gonna kind of be lost as far as what's gonna happen within the next episode until we see where obviously the real allegiance lies with the girls, because
Yeah.
they could get split up from this point,
Yeah.
but I think they're kind of feeling that they've had.
We had a lot of dust get kicked up
I
today.
mean, they
we
had-
had a lot of dust. We got to wait
Yeah.
for it to settle before we can see something.
Yeah.
Well, I think I think the fact that the girls kind of got this thing pulled off,
Yeah.
they were able to pull this thing
Good,
off.
Good, good.
And it worked for him this
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
It only worked because of Michael's idol, but they were able to pull it off. So I think this is going to boost their confidence. We're not sure where, are they going to try to hide themselves as far as what they might be planning, or are they going to try to pull Laurel in a little tighter?
Well, what do we see? What's going on next week? Did
Yeah,
it
what
say-
is going on next
They're
week?
blowing it up.
Did-
They're blowing it up.
Did we pay attention? I didn't.
Dominic was saying something like, he's not ready for this. We're blowing it up or something. That's
and
what he said.
I think that's basically what we got left with is the fact that because I
because of
could be
these
wrong.
girls?
I could be
think
wrong.
that's what he said. We're blowing it up.
I
or
could be
something.
wrong, but because the girls did this and their plan made it through with the help of Michael's idol, I think this is going to kind of throw a wrench in things for everybody. Nobody's going to trust each other,
No.
and I think it's going
I'll tell you what.
to have a lot to do.
If they show, and let me go on record. I didn't pay attention to what's going on next week.
You're
If they-
hardly paying attention to anything.
Well, if they did show Dominic say we're blowing it up, that means he's going with an all guys alliance and he's getting rid of them women. I'm telling you, I know Dominic's.
Yeah, you
And
do know
I
Dominic.
think you could be right. It could
I
be.
They're
know
all the
another
same.
Dominic just like that.
They're all the
and that's
same.
what he would do. Those broads didn't vote with me. And even if they did,
Yeah,
they'd
yeah.
all would have voted Michael, and you'd all be fucking
Right.
screwed. You would have lost your main
Right.
man. That's how
Totally.
dumb Dominic's. No, I shouldn't say that. That's he's
Wait,
not
if
dumb.
you're a Dominic,
He's
please
not dumb.
comment and subscribe.
Smart. He ain't dumb.
We'll be into episode 9 of the Survivor Series here. So, join us next week. We'll get a little further.
But he's
deeper
gonna
into
go
this.
after these women. Dominic's gonna go after these women.
And we'll see.
I'm telling you, that's my prediction.
We'll see how it
That's
all
my
pans
next
out.
prediction.
I mean, really, Dominic, Laurel, we got the power players there. Jonathan may get dragged along. We got the Girls Alliance thing
Yeah,
happening.
There's a lot of floating.
Things
think
are getting mixed up. Things are getting wild. We're gonna
Should be a
flow
good
into
end game.
what
Dominic's gonna tell Wendell we're cutting Laurel loose. She betrayed us.
He has to.
She betrayed.
He's
the
got to do that.
family. She
Yes,
betrayed
he's
the
got
fam-
to do that. Dominic is the king, and the king always
Tell
has
him.
a bad eye to something like this. And the
She
Wendell's,
betrayed the family.
yeah.
In the next episode, we'll find out whether or not Dominic
Yeah.
kind of falls victim
Good night.
to pulling it in. So we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.